Have you ever been at a thrift store, or maybe digging through a box of family heirlooms, and you find this beautiful, tarnished old piece? You hold it, and you just wonder, is this the real thing? It's such a cool feeling, right? Well, today, I'm going to show you a few super simple, totally safe ways you can figure that out for yourself, right at home. That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Is that gorgeous teapot solid sterling, or is it just a really convincing look-alike? The good news is, you don't need some fancy, expensive lab to get your answer. There are some surprisingly easy clues you can look for.
Okay, first things first. Before we start our little investigation, we need to get on the same page about what real silver actually means, because it might not be what you think.
You see, pure silver is actually, well, it's really soft. Way too soft for things like forks or jewelry that you'd use every day. So to make it stronger, to make it durable, they mix it with other metals, and that's usually copper. The gold standard for this is sterling silver, which guarantees that the piece is 92.5% pure silver, and that is the benchmark we are hunting for today.
All right, now for the fun part. It's time to play detective. Your very first and honestly, your most reliable clue is often stamped right there on the item itself.
So go ahead and grab a magnifying glass. Even the zoom on your phone's camera works great for this. You're going to want to look really closely because these marks can be tiny and hidden in weird spots, like on the back of a fork handle, on the bottom of a cup, or inside the clasp of a necklace.
And here's what you're looking for. If you see the number 925 or the word sterling, that is a fantastic sign. You're in business. Even a number like 800 means it's got a lot of silver in it. But you also want to look out for the red flags. If you see something like EPNS, that means electroplated nickel silver. It's just a thin coating of silver over a much cheaper metal.
But hey, what if you look and nothing? No marks at all? Don't worry, the case isn't closed yet. Now we can move on to a couple of really simple, totally safe tests you can do with stuff you probably already have lying around the house.
First up is the magnet test. This one is brilliantly simple, and it's based on a key fact that surprises a lot of people. Real silver, just like gold, is not magnetic.
Now, for this to work, you'll want a magnet with a little bit of oomph. Your flimsy pizza delivery magnet probably won't cut it. Just bring that magnet right up to your item and see what happens. Is there any pull at all?
And the result here is super straightforward. If that magnet grabs on and sticks, well, it's almost certainly not sterling silver. The metals they use for plating are often magnetic. But if there's no reaction, nothing at all, that's a great sign. You've passed test number 1.
Okay, this next test is honestly my favorite. It feels a little bit like a magic trick, but I promise you it's pure science. We're going to do the ice test, and it works because of silver's incredible ability to conduct heat.
The setup for this could not be easier. Just grab 2 ice cubes from the freezer. Put one directly on your mystery item and put the other one right next to it on just a normal surface, like a plate or your countertop. And now, just watch.
If your item is real silver, you are going to see something wild. That ice will start melting almost instantly, like it's sitting on a hot stove. That's because silver has the highest thermal conductivity of any common metal. It literally pulls the heat from the room's air and channels it right into the ice cube. It is a very dramatic and a very, very good sign.
Okay, now, before you start polishing up your newfound treasure and celebrating, we need to have a little chat about the master of disguise in the metal world, silver plating.
It's really important to get this. A silver-plated item isn't technically fake. It has a genuine, real layer of silver on the outside. The big difference, and it's a huge one, is what's underneath that shiny surface, usually a much cheaper base metal.
And this is where things get tricky. That thin coating of real silver can actually fool our home tests. It'll absolutely pass the ice test because the surface is real silver. And if the metal underneath isn't magnetic, it'll pass the magnet test too. That's why your final step is so critical, a really close visual inspection. Look for any worn spots, check the edges, the handles, anywhere you might see a different color metal peeking through. And remember, if you're still not sure, the only way to be 100% certain is to take it to a professional.
So let's recap and put together your new silver detective kit. This is your simple, go-to process for any time you come across a potential treasure.
Think of it as a simple 4-step investigation. 1. Start with the hallmark hunt. It's your best and most definitive clue. 2. Move on to the magnet test. 3. Do the ice test to gather more evidence. And 4. Always finish with a close visual inspection for any of those telltale signs of wear and plating.
So there you have it. By putting these simple tests together, you've gone from just kind of wondering to being a pretty knowledgeable investigator. You can now look at those family heirlooms, those flea market finds with a totally new, much more informed eye. So the only question left is, what treasures are you going to discover?